Another day, another unfortunate injury setback for the Dallas Mavericks. We will talk about that and more coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Welcome into the DLLS Mavs podcast, powered by Game Time and Michelob Ultra. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. And Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr., our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl, and our national NBA insider Marc Stein. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team every single day. Appreciate you hanging out with us here on this unfortunate newsworthy day for the Dallas Mavericks here. The breaking news, Dereck Lively II is going to be out for the rest of the 2025-26 season, as the team announced earlier today that he will be undergoing foot surgery on his right foot and will be done for the remainder of the year. We will break all of that down and more here on today's episode on this unfortunate day in Mavericks news. Ron Harrod Jr., how we feeling?
Sad day for the Mavericks hopeful, so I feel bad for everyone involved.
Bobby, what's going on?
I want to say that this is the worst day of my life, but it's not even the worst day of this year. So it's another tough blow for Mavs fans. Kent Ketchum, I think that's Ash Ketchum's dad, in the chat saying, "Come on, guys, we knew this was coming." I think we all kind of maybe thought,
had an idea.
But it's one thing to think, and it's another thing for it to be reality. And the reality is terrible, Marc Stein. Life is very difficult.
Bobby insists that he is not sick, and I'm going to believe him.
I'm not sick. I have been crying.
Sounds like he's been crying his eyes out for an hour, and I would believe that.
I haven't. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, look, I think realistically, all joking aside, that since late November, the worry has been that, this was going to be long-term absence, and it's now a for the season absence. It's just, Dereck Lively is such a lovable young man. He had such a great rookie season. You see what little we've seen of him with cooperflagg. They've got the Duke bond. They're on the same injury timeline. Last year was a nightmare for Lively on the injury front. Obviously, the trade of Luka Doncic affected him probably as much as anyone, because playing off Luka was so good for him as a rookie. This was supposed to be a big season. He had the procedure in July to deal with bone spurs, and now to require another procedure. Like, he has such a great spirit. You see it even when he's on the bench in street clothes, interacting with his teammates, and there's no other way to say it. This sucks. It's really sad, and let's hope that this next procedure can do the trick and keep him on the floor for 60-plus games next season. But look, the young man has been plagued with this kind of stuff since he's been a Mav. There's been one thing after another. And again, it's very sad, because the whole process to make him a Mav, to get that draft pick, to bring him in here, he's embraced it so much. And again, spirit-wise, he's a huge part of this team, even though he's so young. And yeah, what can you say? It's brutal. It's worth crying about.
No, it's a brutal day.
I wouldn't know.
for not only for Live, but obviously for Mavericks fans who enjoy the player, who has been and become a fan favorite for this team. Unfortunately, only playing 7 games this year, in his now what will be 3 seasons, only played 98 games in his career, unfortunately. So as we start to not only react to this news, Marc Stein, I'll come back to you on this as well. The timeline, you kind of started to lay it out a little bit, having the bone spur cleanup during the summer, obviously continuing to deal with the foot issue now. What is next in terms of not only for him, but how this team starts to evaluate its overall center situation with Anthony Davis? Obviously, Daniel Gafford is dealing with the right ankle injury that he's been dealing with since day one of training camp. You still have Moussa Cisse and Dwight Powell, obviously, on this roster. What does this start to look like from that standpoint for this team?
Well, look, I think I've written it 2, 3, 4 times. I've lost track of how many times I've written it. There is interest in Daniel Gafford. From the moment Daniel Gafford signed that extension, which was to the dollar, the max amount he could receive and remain tradable in season before the February 5th trade deadline, there's interest in him. Yesterday on my Substack, Jake Fisher reported that Indiana is believed to have interest in Gafford. I've heard the same. They won't be alone. But what I've also been writing along the way is, if you're the Mavs, do you trade Gafford when you see Lively with these ongoing and incessant injury setbacks? But the reality is, Gafford's missed time here lately too. Anthony Davis, we know he doesn't want to play the 5, but his best basketball as a Maverick has been at the 5. He's been playing almost exclusively at the 5 here lately in all these big games and big numbers he's been posting. So, look, they're not calling me to ask my opinion, but I am firmly of the belief the Mavs need to end up in the lottery at season's end. I don't know if they can in this West, because the bottom of the West is so much weaker than we expected, and it's going to be difficult for them to just make sure they're in the lottery. But because this is the only first-round pick they control between now and 2031, they have to end up in the lottery. And so if that means trading Gafford, to me, Gafford is the most tradable Maverick of anyone on the roster in season. His contract is such that the interest will interest will persist, and it's a much easier deal to do than trading Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, just by virtue of the high contract number he has, it's just a much tougher trade. And so to me, even with Lively out for the year, if I'm the Mavs, Gafford has been a tremendous Mav, but if you can get a future draft asset for him, it's something that, that should be what they're pursuing in my opinion. Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell, I think both of those players are going to be pretty hard to move. So,
and we'll get into more of that a little bit later on in the show for sure.
You got to move Gafford to me, which is, it's tough to say because he's been a great Mav, and I think he loves being here. But the Mavs have painted themselves into a corner, to say the least. And this, going forward, this is about Cooper Flagg and getting the best team, assembling the best team you can on his timeline.
Which is precisely why, if you are going to lose, you want to be able to evaluate the players that you have on your team. And unfortunately, they're just not going to be able to do that, because one of the guys that you would want to take into the future is Lively. He and Coop have played 56 minutes together in their careers. Lively, Davis, and Coop have played 28 minutes together. Coop and Kyrie have played 0. Lively and Kyrie, going back to the start of last season, have played 433 minutes together.
Oh wow!
You haven't seen them on the floor.
That's less than 10 games.
You have not seen them on the floor. And so if all you're going to do is trade Gafford, but think okay, well, we got AD, we got Kyrie coming back, Lively will be back ready to go next year, and we got Coop. You got a sourcing, Cole? Oh, okay.
Stein dropped the computer. It was like, hold on, wait, what's going on?
After I finish my spiel. No, you're good.
Sorry to mislead you.
The whole point of saying all right, man, let's suck so much this year that we will get as many ping pong balls as possible and then we'll go into next year with this core that we believe in. What reason do you have to believe in this core? Like, that foursome, Lively, Kyrie, AD, Coop, is guaranteed to play 0 minutes together this season. They will never appear on the court together this season. And frankly, they might never appear on the court together because who knows if AD will be on the team next year or whatever. So your core is not really a core. It's all hypothetical. It is a complete idea. It is all projection. It is wishing, and hope is not a strategy. And I think that this,
hoping that I can reach the outlet from here is not a strategy.
Should have charged that device at home, Stein. But like, you're building the whole house out of hope. And that's why, again, on the show, I know that it was so annoying to sit here and listen to me be like, I don't know about this, guys, for the last 6 months, really longer than that. But over the summer, it was like, man, this is not a basketball team. This is not a team. This is not the way you should be doing it. This is not the way you should be doing it. And like, all of that stuff is real. But this is not a victory lap. The problem, Mark, is they do not have any reason to believe that this is a core because they haven't seen them play. And with Lively, he was getting ready to play a game 11 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
On a broken foot that that someone or multiple people either misdiagnosed or ignored or just completely missed altogether or whatever.
It was originally diagnosed as an ankle sprain.
And now he's having a second procedure on that foot. Like, complete and utter incompetence and malpractice by the previous staff and anyone that is still left over from that was part of that misdiagnosis. Who knows if what is happening now is related in any way to what happened then, but I'm not a doctor. It's quite a coincidence, if nothing else. Like, this guy's career is in danger because of that issue. And, I know that some of the people that were on the medical staff last year are no longer here, but like, why should Mavs fans and why should Mavs players,
you can't pick that up either. You can't pick that
have
up.
Have any hope or any belief that any injured player is in good hands, including Daniel Gafford, who is injured, Anthony Davis, who was about to play on a serious calf injury or Achilles tendinopathy or whatever. Kyrie Irving, who's trying to come back from one of the most catastrophic injuries a basketball player can recover. And also Cooper Flagg, who now, like, for the next 8, I don't even want Coop to play basketball anymore until next year. Like, because I'm afraid he's going to get hurt too. Like, what is the state of the training staff of this team right now?
Wow, Bobby.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
You don't see I'm having issues. You guys just you're only looking this way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of us can answer that question.
Yeah,
but like, I mean, holy good, like, oh my God, how many missteps?
I'm distracted because somebody in the chat said there's such a thing as a cordless power pack for a computer.
That is true.
Oh yeah,
I didn't.
It's
know
2025, Stein.
I didn't know that.
It's a lot of cordless things that you could utilize to your advantage.
But I mean, yeah, with the Lively thing, I mean, it's such a sad day. I mean, for the kid,
It's heartbreaking.
He's played less than 100 games in his NBA career. Like, this is a kid. Like, he's supposed to be a part of the Mavs' under 25 core. And while yes, he will still be on the team, again, he's played less than 100 games in his career. He's just kind of trying to figure out, okay, how do I play basketball at a high level? And he was doing such a good job earlier in his career, showing that he's one of the best short roll passers in the NBA, let alone under 25. And it's like, you need more reps. You need to build on your early success. And it's like, he's been robbed of just building on what he's already proven to show because of injuries that are kind of out of his control. I mean, the foot injuries is crazy. And just doing some quick research now, I have an article probably after this. I mean, just looking at the 7-footers with foot injuries, in the history of the NBA, it gets real scary. So it's almost like not only am I sad for Dereck Lively, I'm starting to get a little nervous.
Yeah, I think before we go to break, the thing I'll say real quick is anger, sadness, frustration for the young man. I mean, he, as Stein mentioned, a joy to be around someone who has become a fan favorite here, but also through his time on the floor has been a very productive player and someone who I thought could potentially be an all-star this year with a potential leap that he was going to have if this roster was going to be healthy. I just hope for him now going forward, he will get the care that he needs to have to eventually get him on the floor where he can stay on the floor. But yeah,
and the sad reality is you don't know if he's going to get it from this team.
And that's the part that is very, very frustrating. I mean, according to the team, he's going to London to go get this surgery done.
He's going to get some bionic stuff put in his foot over there.
So that's
Allegedly.
I think that part is player choice, though. I think the player is deciding.
Yes,
where
I
that
was just
goes.
reading based off of what the press release said, but yes, that is the case for him. So we'll dive more into this, including what options the Mavericks may have available from a roster standpoint to try to mitigate some of this. But unfortunately, the breaking news is that Dereck Lively II is done for the season and will undergo foot surgery, having only played 7 games this year as the Mavericks move forward from there. When we come back, after we take our first break here, more on not only the Dereck Lively situation, what options the Mavericks had, but later on in our show, the trade rumors and situations around Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, D'Angelo Russell, and more with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. All that and more coming up next. Are you a last-minute shopper like me when it comes to the holiday season? I know you are. That's why I've got the perfect gift for you when it comes to Aura Frames. With Aura Frames, you can upload unlimited photos and video by just downloading the Aura app and connecting to Wi-Fi, and you can preload photos before it ships as well. In fact, you can personalize your gift by adding a message to it at any time, and you can share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone all year long. With Aura Frames, you can't wrap togetherness, but you can definitely frame it. So I got a special deal for you. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code DLLS at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code DLLS. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast, so make sure you get yours before the holiday season ends. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Remember, terms and conditions apply.
Well, it's fantasy playoffs. We made it. Congratulations, everyone that's still playing. If you want to have even more reason to cheer on your favorite players, like for me, for example, it would be Bijan Robinson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, players that could bring me a title. Well, you can do it on Prize Picks. Say Bijan's going to get more yards. He's going to get more than 0.5 touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to get more than 99.5 receiving yards, or whatever the number is. You can also customize it on Prize Picks. You can lower it down. You can even raise it up to increase your winnings. You choose between 2 and 6 players. The more you pick, the more you can win. They also offer stacks, so you can use one single player multiple times. For example, Bijan Robinson yards and touchdowns. You can stack those together. No other platform allows you to do that. So if you want to play, download Prize Picks today. Use promo code DLLS when making your first $5 lineup, and your account will be blessed with $50 in free lineups to choose to use whenever you like on whatever you like. It's not just football, it's basketball, it's hockey, it's baseball, everything. So download Prize Picks today, because on Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here on DLLS Sports as we continue to react to the breaking news that Dereck Lively II, for the second time in 10 months, will be undergoing season-ending surgery as he will be having surgery on his right foot, as the team announced about an hour or so ago, as Dereck Lively will miss the remainder of the season. Coming up here in our next segment, we're going to be dialing up the Stein line with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, live in studio with us here. The latest when it comes to Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, D'Angelo Russell, and all of the things and trade rumors surrounding this basketball team currently. Before we get there, let's answer a couple of your super chats here. Lance with the $4.99 super chat. The win streak was cool, but the reality remains that Dallas Mavericks need to focus on capitalizing on their final draft pick of the decade.
Everything is happening all at the same time, right? Like on the one hand, you're thinking about what's already happened. On the other hand, you're thinking about today, tomorrow, and the next day. And on the other hand, you're thinking, well, on your third hand, on your 14th hand, you're thinking about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, like the Mavs could very well go on a run and make the playoffs and hurt their draft pick. And then they're probably going to be bumming about it because 3 years from now, basically no one on this team will still be on the team. Probably, except for 1 or 2 guys will still probably be here, right? Just on average. So you definitely want to position yourselves as good as you can, as well as you can for the future.
Don Juan with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really appreciate it.
Shout out to Don.
Linessa with the $2 super chat. Wi-Fi is back on. Any good news today, guys?
Yes.
There is good news?
Yeah, there's good news.
We're breathing.
I just need to. I'll get back to you with that in a little bit.
Well, I do have some good news if you're interested in it. This comes from ESPN, the front office insider Bobby Marks, and of course, friend of the DLLS Mavs podcast. Dallas will be eligible to apply for a $2.6 million disabled player exception for Dereck Lively II. If granted, Dallas could sign or trade for a player with 1 year left on their contract. Now,
Feels like there's a butt coming.
It is.
Up.
They would, however, need to have an open roster spot and fit that salary below the second apron, which, Bobby Corella,
They cannot.
They can't do that.
they cannot.
They can't even sign a guy to replace the injured guys.
Because right now this is a second apron team, and they do not have an open
And
roster spot.
dare I say a larger priority, which I covered last Friday in my Ryan Nebhard feature. A larger priority than using an injury exception would be to get enough money off the books to be able to convert Ryan Nebhard to a standard contract that keeps him on the roster beyond this season, because Nebhard has played so well in this stretch. And again, it's still in the small sample size range, but Nebhard has played so well that if you're him, even if the Mavs could offer him a longer, like, let's just say they offered him a 2-year deal at the minimum. Why would he want a 2-year deal at the minimum?
Yeah, why would he sign that?
Because
He wouldn't.
when he is converted from a two-way to a standard, he will become a restricted free agent, and the chances are that he would be offered something better than a minimum, even in restricted free agency. So, to me, that's a larger priority than trying to replace Dereck Lively, is just creating enough flexibility under the second apron to be able to convert Nebhard to a deal that he likes and is good and keeps him here, because I don't even want to picture the amount of sadness emanating from the Corella trader.
Poor Bobby.
If he lost Nebhard.
He can't be a Pacer. He can't be a Pacer. The Mavs right now are $1.292 million below the second apron. So they cannot spend a single cent more than the that second apron cutoff.
And my good friend Jay, who's posting comments in the chat, is right. The apron, why does there have to be two aprons? One apron would have been enough. Why did they? No one has explained this to me well. Why did they need two aprons?
Why did the
McCollum,
NBA
count
agree
your
to
days.
such
Yeah.
a deal?
Yeah.
CJ
So
McCollum,
they got
count your
the-
days,
They got
buddy.
the salary cap. They got the first apron. They got the tax line. They got the second apron. There's 4 thresholds that you got to think about if
Yeah.
you're building the
Same.
team.
It's
CJ
And,
McCollum, count your days, brother.
I don't understand any of them.
Look, the reason they did it was because they didn't want teams like the Clippers and the Warriors.
No, the Clippers cheated anyway.
With ownerships that said, we'll pay any amount of luxury tax. These were the measures that were put in so that if you did take the stance of we will pay zillions of dollars in luxury tax, that there would be penalties to stop that. But did they go too far?
Yes.
You can certainly argue that they went too far. It's just
Well, why would the players care about that?
Because the players just wanted money, man.
Yeah, they just want to
because the average salary look at what's the mid-level exception? It just keeps going.
a lot.
Yeah,
It's
a
like
lot of
14
money.
million.
Yeah.
yeah, it just keeps
I'm
going.
talking about
up
why the
and
players
up.
want the aprons, though.
Oh, the players don't care. They want the big split of BRI
Yeah.
and the TV
Right.
money, and they're like,
Yeah.
So I'm players going to luxury tax, pay me.
yeah, but
Like-
all of these safeguards are literally all of these things that are difficult to understand and even more difficult to explain. That you need a law degree to figure it out. It is all to protect the guy with $5 billion from the
right.
guy with $50 billion. Like
Yep.
that is literally it. It is just so some dude that owns the Bucks can make money off of this multi-billion-dollar franchise,
Correct.
on an annual basis, as opposed to only whenever he sells it to an even richer person.
Yeah.
That is it. So that's the reason the Mavs can't sign Ryan Nembhard right now.
Which is why I would.
Thanks a lot, Steve Ballmer.
Well, so to be clear, the Mavs, Bobby, what you're saying, they don't have cap room.
Correct.
Their young star center is out for the season.
Correct.
That's right.
Anthony Davis, who's back, is coming back from missing 14 games
That's
this
right.
season.
Correct.
That's
And is now holding his hand all the time because he banged it on the rim real hard.
Yeah, he's got some kind of finger issue. dealing with.
These are a lot of problems, man. A team,
Daniel Gafford out there is
essentially,
looking great, though. He's
Daniel
playing right now.
Gafford
Looking
is
great.
not playing.
Oh, he's not playing at all? Oh, darn.
So then you have players out. You don't have money. you don't have draft capital.
Your second best player right now is on a 2-way deal, and you can't sign him.
And you're
Well, third. Let's be honest, like fifth best, but still.
But one of your 5 best players, legit, is not even under like a long-term deal right now. And we talked about Max Christie, who's playing pretty good this year, is going to be extension eligible.
And we'll get more into this in the next segment, but theoretically, your best player just started a 3-year, $175 million contract extension this year and is eligible August 6th for a 4-year, $275 million extension that would pay him $76 million in his age 37 season. So you've got a decision to make on whether
because he's eligible doesn't mean
I know. I'm just saying those are we just like the Kyrie situation. He was eligible for a 5-year, $320-some-odd million contract extension. Obviously, he was not going to get that. But those are the numbers that are that are out there and what he's eligible.
No one is giving AD an extension. Not right now. We'll talk about more of that next segment because no one is.
When you say no one, I'm assuming that you're including the team that he currently plays
for.
for.
Notice how the more we're talking, the super chats just keep rolling in. Like we seem to be.
Well, you're back, so folks want to hear from you.
They want to know the intel.
Yeah, they want to know what's going on.
We should get to the 81 in the next segment, I think. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll get to that
Mark, I do want to ask. So this was during. This is while you were trying to get your charter situation figured out and everything. I was
that you offered to help me with, but did not.
Well, it's because I wouldn't shut up.
Wow,
it's because I wouldn't shut up. But I was going on a little temper tantrum about the Mavs training staff and how Lively was about to play on a foot and AD was about to play on an Achilles or a calf strain or whatever. Like Mavs fans that are watching this right now and Mavs players that are employed by the team, like how much confidence should Mavs fans have in the team's training staff? And in the outlook medically for all the players on the team in the short and long term.
I mean, after what's happened, I mean, I totally understand when anybody questions it. I mean, I think on this show we get more questions about the training staff than I've ever fielded about any training staff in all my years of covering the league. Like it's become a story here because of what happened last season, and it was, so out there. Now, obviously, they removed the previous strength coach and replaced him with an outside hire, formerly from the Bulls. Kevin Gray, always.
Jeff Pulls.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I remember? I'm really.
You're the one that reported it.
I know I did, but I'm aging badly.
Just remember, Kevin Gray always pulls the name.
Whoa! Thank God for Kevin Gray. But there have been no other. There's been no other changes. So it is the same staff as it was before, essentially.
Good.
And 4 in the morning, if it is 4 in the morning, shout out to you for your optimism. Y'all make it sound like the Mavs are in the worst position for a team in the league. Can never be me, glass half full. Look, what we do for this job is to tell you everything from every angle that we need to cover for this team. Like, and if you want to be glass half full guy, be my guest. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But you also have to look at the totality of the situation. This team is in a lot of difficult positions with decisions that they have to make that are coming very, very quickly. So as glass half full as it may be with Cooper Flagg, who's been sensational, #1 rookie in the NBA, a two-way guy, Ryan Nembhard, making a tremendous impact for this team. There are positive elements for this team. There are a lot of other ones that have to be decided upon today, tomorrow, and within the next 2 months, and then going into the summer about what the next 5-6 years look like. So that's what we are here to discuss and what we will continue to discuss on a daily basis. But I'm not wanting to put a damper on what has been successes for certain guys and individuals on this team. Max Christie's been really good so far this year as well. But don't come in here acting like what we do on a daily basis is doom and gloom. This is the situation they find themselves in. So it is what it is.
Well, I mean, they've won 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that's another positive point.
They have a rookie.
Even winning 4 out of 5 and playing well, there's a cost with that.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They're 4 and 5. They've won 4 out of 5. They got 2 rookies that are playing great, and they're 9 and 16. So like they're in a really bad position.
Yeah,
they can't take back more money in a trade. They only control 1 pick for the next 5 years. Like there's a lot working against them. But Ryan Nembhard is awesome. I gotta say,
yeah, he's great. Yeah, like he's been objectively
Najee Marshall's playing pretty good.
Really
yeah, Najee's playing great. Yeah,
Najee's playing
really
good. Locker room's fun.
And I don't know, maybe just for sport, we should ask, if you want in the chat, Please put in the glass half full reasons that we should be citing. Throw them in the chat, and we'll shout out a few.
Yeah, reasons to feel good.
Yeah.
We'll shout out a few.
I like feeling good.
Positive December? Question mark.
It's the holiday season.
No negativity.
No.
It was supposed to be that.
I guess no negativity December is over.
We left that in 2024.
But
All right.
Wait,
we left
what?
that behind in 2024.
Oh, I thought you left that back in
2025 is,
November.
is the year of
always been triggered too many
existential
times since 2024.
dread.
My computer's back on. Glass half full.
That's good. I've spent
Okay.
the entirety of 2025 screaming into the abyss. All right, and the abyss is screaming right back at me.
It's deep.
Okay,
It's a
It
deep
is-
black
It is
hole.
yanking me in, and I'm just falling down.
Yeah. I'll save it for the next segment.
We'll
Let's
never
take-
find the bottom of this abyss. Just falling and crying and so incredibly alone. Oh, we're not in break.
No.
Go to break.
I was about to. You started talking. Let's take our next break here on our show. When we come back, we dial up the Stein line with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, the latest on everything when it comes to your Dallas Mavericks, including Anthony Davis and those trade rumors. All that and more coming up next. You know that moment when you forget your favorite pair of sunglasses when you leave them on the top of your car or you leave them 3 states over after you come on vacation? Well, guess what? Shady Rays can protect you when it comes to any of these situations. With Shady Rays, they changed the game by making sunglasses that are made for real life. They're seriously good looking, they're polarized, durable, and they're not stupidly expensive either. In fact, with Shady Rays, if you lose or break them on day one, they will replace them with a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. In fact, they're now sunglasses that you can actually wear with not feeling guilty about whether or not you leave them somewhere or you break them, because Shady Rays will take care of you wherever you go. In fact, it's eyewear that has your back. So we've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code DLLS35 for 35% off your polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people with Shady Rays polarized sunglasses today.
And Mavericks fans. Yes, you Mavericks fans. I'm looking at you. You are starting to look a little bit sad because Dereck Lively II was just announced to be out for the season. He's getting surgery on his right foot. I know you're upset. I know you might be crying. There might be some sorrows, but you know what you can do? The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. You can drown your sorrows with Michelob Ultra. When I'm feeling down, sometimes you just need a little bit of a pick-me-up. And you have your good old Michelob Ultra beer to make you feel a lot better. In these type of sad moments, in these type of sad times, it's going to be right there, right next to you, right where you need it to make you feel a totally lot better. And with Michelob Ultra, you can cheer on your team with Dallas Mavericks, even while they're going through a tough time with Michelob Ultra. At just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, it's a superior, smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of the NBA.
Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here on our program today. Just a moment, we'll dial up the Stein line here with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports to join the over 38,000 subscribers here with us at DLLS Sports as well. Full crew in the studio today. Glad to have back our guy, Marc Stein here, a very, very, very busy man these days. So good to have him back in studio. Stein, we'll kick off the Stein line with this super chat from Sheldon Fennell for $4.99. Thank you so much. Do you think the Mavs could get more in an Anthony Davis trade if he is part? Is he part of a Giannis trade? In this scenario, AD and Giannis would be going to other teams.
Good question.
Loaded question.
It is a dollar for dollar match in their contract, which
That's why it's a good question. Because
I don't know that it would lead to, quote, more. I mean, and that's one of the complications here when you're dealing with salaries of this size. The reality is it's just easier to do trades with players who have salaries of that magnitude in the offseason rather than in season. And that's why there's still this conversation around, again, with Giannis. I say it on seemingly every show I'm on, and I'm going to keep saying it. Until Giannis himself goes to the Bucks and clearly states, I want to be moved, I just don't think it's going to happen. The Bucks do not want to trade him, but there is still a conversation externally among the other 29 teams. Is this something that can happen during the season, or does it have to wait till the offseason? And I do think it's easier. It's always easier in the offseason. I mean, if we just want to shift right to AD,
Sure.
My thought is I just don't know that the Mavericks are going to get an offer anything close to what they would hope for in an AD deal in season. I just think in the offseason, they are more likely to get something that they would consider palatable. But the problem, again, is what we always talk about with this draft in 2026 being so important. If you have AD on your team all season, that obviously only increases the chances that you're going to be in the play-in or even the playoffs. I mean, I don't know that the Mavs are going to jump all the way up to number 6, but are the Mavs a play-in team with AD on the court for the rest of the season and Kyrie Irving coming back at some point in 2026? You would think yes. So that is the, quote, downside of waiting until the offseason to trade Anthony Davis. But on the other hand, he was the focal point of your return for the trade that we don't want to bring up. So, like, do you want to compound, and to even call it a mistake is not enough. It is so much more than a mistake.
It was the dumbest thing that has ever happened. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was the dumbest thing that has ever happened in the history of the world.
Do you want to compound the dumbest thing that ever happened in the history of the world
More dumb trades
by making an Anthony Davis trade where you just settle for parts? I wouldn't. So, and that's what I'm saying. This is such.
What choice have they left themselves?
It's a very difficult choice. If you keep Davis, you're going to make it a lot harder to be in the lottery. If you trade Davis for a subpar package, you're hurting yourself in a bunch of other ways. There's no good choice. There is no good choice.
Well, what is the best, as you see it, what is the best course of action if they want to be in contention to win a title within the next, let's say, 3 years? Like, what gives them the best? Because, like,
I don't know that I have a fully formed answer, but I think keeping AD has to be on the list.
3 years from now?
Because, I mean, like I said, I think, no, not 3 years from now, but like playing out the season and then seeing what the offers are, that might be the best course. But again, I'm underlining might because I don't have this figured out either, because if the Mavs aren't in the lottery, that's going to be really, really bad. I mean, so, and again, I don't know how you ensure that you're in the lottery if AD plays the rest of the season and Kyrie comes back. I genuinely do not know. I don't know, man.
Well, I think there is a way that you, again, with the lottery odds being flattened, the idea of just outright racing to the bottom, you can't necessarily do.
See, that's important. I wrote about this recently too. I don't know if you guys saw this. The new lottery system, there's been 7 years of it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. The teams that have finished 5 through 9 in the lottery have jumped up 12 out of 35 times. So almost a third of the time, if you just have the 5th through the 9th worst record in the league, 5th through 9th, which is like, you're not going to catch the Washingtons and the New Orleans. But to have the 8th or 9th worst record, you have a 1 in 3 chance of moving into the top 4 in this new system. And that's why I keep saying this draft pick is so important, because like this draft is said to be so good. You don't necessarily have to win it again, but can you get a top 4 pick in this draft would be hugely, hugely valuable.
You see that DeBonza dunk the other night?
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, that's the thing. If you could get,
you could
just get a top 4 pick, but the thing is, there's a bunch of teams thinking this way. This is not just dawned on the Mavs.
Yeah,
I mean, like you look at the last I looked, there were 13 teams in the league under 500, 6 in the East, 7 in the West. Remarkably more in the West. Everybody's thinking this way. Because look, who's won the last 2 lotteries?
The Hawks and the Mavs.
The Hawks with the 10th worst record in the league.
Yeah.
And the Mavs with the 11th worst record in the league. So, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate, I'm honored that you think I'm smart enough to like have the answer. I don't know the answer.
Well, Ron, what do you think?
I don't know.
3 years from now.
Can we get to 1 year from now?
I'm being honest.
I mean, that's things like 3 years from now is hard to even.
So 3 years from now is the 2028?
29, let's say.
So 28-9 season. Is Anthony Davis going to be on that team? I would be pretty shocked. To be honest, Anthony Davis might not be in the NBA.
Let me
at that
reframe
point.
the question though. Let me just because 3 years is breaking my brain. I can't think that far. But let's just think next year. let's just say glass half full. The Mavs ring the bell. The Mavs,
If healthy.
if
healthy.
Right.
the Mavs. Let's say the Mavs get their lottery pick. And maybe it's not even top. Let's just say the Mavs get their lottery pick and are able to draft a good young player on Cooper's timeline, and they haven't traded AD. Like next season, Cooper and a good young pick with, if AD and Kyrie are still here, like that could be a good team. They're on completely different timelines, but couldn't it theoretically be a good team?
Are you extending Anthony Davis in that situation?
Who says you have?
No.
Just because he wants the extension,
You don't have to extend them.
he has 2 more years left. What is he going to do? Not play?
Or ask for a trade?
Okay.
Good.
But
that's
well,
what I'm
not
saying.
good. Sorry. But
But that's what I'm saying. That throws that
a little
scenario out the
rash
window.
response
Yeah,
by
you're talking
us, I
about
think.
going into next year with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, a young draft pick, and Cooper Flagg.
This is only year 1 of a 3-year deal.
When does that stop Anthony Davis from asking for a trade before?
He can ask for the trade. You don't have to trade him.
He has no leverage.
You don't. If he asks for a trade, you just have to trade him for whatever.
But he
whatever
has no
you can get.
leverage to ask for a
That's it.
trade.
If it's extension
Who?
or trade me, are you giving a player who's
He has
going
no leverage.
Yeah, he can't. He can't.
Trade me. Where, brother? Where? Please.
Because wherever
let
we
us
trade
know.
you to, no one's going to give you an extension because you're
Where?
33
Who
and you
is this
missed a bunch of
team?
time.
Who? The Bulls? Be my
There's always
guest,
one
brother.
team. There's always one team. I don't know who that team is.
No one wants to extend him, dude. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Look,
I don't think anyone
And
wants
again,
to extend him.
we talked about the extension of like if it's like we're splitting the salary into 3 seasons. We're like essentially like,
Okay, so
if it goes 30, 30, 30.
Let me reframe the question another way, and you guys. So are you in the mode of like trade AD by February to for the best offer the Mavs can get?
yes.
So if the offer is no good, you still want to do it?
No, you don't make a deal. You don't make a bad deal for the sake of making a deal. If there's a good offer that you get by February 5th, you take that deal. I can't risk
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to get a quote
He's
good
asking
offer.
no matter whatever's the best offer available.
Is a good offer
Yeah.
2 future firsts? Is it
If
one future first and a player? Like we have to even define what a good offer is.
Good point.
If the Pistons come to me with an expiring Tobias Harris, a Jaden Ivey,
Pistons, I think the Pistons' interest in AD is vastly overstated because the Pistons. I said this yesterday, and on serious. I'm going to say it again here. We're still early. The trade deadline is still 6+ weeks away. So maybe Detroit changes its stance. But at this juncture, as December 15th approaches, the sentiments out of Detroit are conservative. They want to play it safe. They don't want to make some splashy move.
Kind of like Houston last year.
For Anthony Davis. Houston was more of a, they wanted to, I likened Houston last year more to OKC the year before. Remember the OKC team that lost to the Mavs in the second round? OKC wanted that group to get some playoff experience first before they made kind of a splashy trade. That was Houston's rationale with that team. And then the playoffs didn't go well. Houston lost in the first round. Then the Rockets pivoted and did go after Kevin Durant in June and were able to trade for Kevin Durant at their price. Detroit, I just think it's like more a conservative nature that Trajan Langdon has running that team. And the other thing too is fit-wise, the reason you've always heard Lauri Markkanen as a potential Pistons target, he's a floor spacing big. That's really what Detroit needs. That's really what the Pistons lack is a true floor spacer who improves their three-point shooting. And that isn't what AD would give them. AD would give them defensive anchor and all kinds of other stuff. But like at this juncture, again, things could change between now and February 5th. But as December 15th approaches, I don't see the Pistons as this leading suitor for AD at this juncture. Toronto, I could see Toronto because the Raptors, it's been years now since they've been good. You see they won 13 out of 14. They lost RJ Barrett. They've hit a slide here recently. I do think the Raptors want to do something significant
to make a move, solidify themselves, get back in the East Elite. But the Raptors have a lot of long-term contracts that you probably have to take back some money that you don't love unless it's a multi-team deal that moves some of those pieces around. So, like I said, trading an AD trade in season is going to be very, very difficult. But I think that's an important thing. What do we consider a good return for Anthony Davis? If I put the magic wand in your hand, what would you want to get back if you're doing that deal between now and February?
A time machine.
Well,
The flex capacitor.
And we'll look at another team too.
And 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, and we'll look at another team too on the other side of the break, because Atlanta's another team that we discussed a little bit yesterday as well. That could be a team that could be a possible fit for Anthony Davis. Plus,
I'm looking at Toronto too. There's a lot of long-term deals. You have to take either RJ, Quickly, Ingram. They're not trading Scotty Barnes, so that's not even bring it up.
And plus, we'll get to more of your super chats because they are flowing in right now. We appreciate all of those coming in as we'll continue to diagnose with our National NBA insider, Marc Stein, the latest when it comes to not just Anthony Davis, but Klay Thompson. What's the fit for him potentially somewhere? Daniel Gafford as well. And we'll get to all the super chats that continue to flow in. All that and more coming up next.
But first, hey, hi.
Hello.
We don't just do shows on YouTube every single day. And we do 5 shows a week. And we also got a Rangers show, and we got a Cowboy show, and we got a Star show, and we got a Dallas Wings show. We also have a whole website where you can get written coverage of your team, some of the deepest insight analysis, rumors, breaking news.
we have hats.
And we have hats too. But we got a whole website. If you want to read the website, though, Ron posts a bunch of stuff on our website, alldlls.com. Some of it is free to read for everybody. Like there's a Dereck Lively, newser up right now. But a lot of his stuff, including player quotes, inside analysis, opinion, all that stuff, it's behind a paywall. The way to get behind the paywall is to become a diehard. You scan the QR code right there. It takes you to our website, alldlls.com, where you can sign up and support what we're doing here at DLLS Sports. In addition to gaining access to the entire website and ad-free experience on there as well, you get a free shirt of your choice right when you sign up. We got a ton of shirts to choose from. They are all incredible. You get a free one right off the rip. You also get a discount on any other merch, shirts, and so on, as well as events. And we have hats. Like Marc Stein said, we have 5 hats now, so there's 4, and we got 1 extra one as well. You get to join the Discord. You get a physical diehard card, which is right here, Tanner. We got one right here. It's actually emanating light. It's UV light. You can't actually see it. It's totally healthy to be around, though, I promise.
Totally healthy to be around.
Yeah. That actually just being in my presence is making me my sinuses feel better. I feel less pressure in my face.
Poor Bobby has been bawling all morning.
It's been. I don't want to talk about it. But I learned to name my emotions recently, Mark, and that has been a big one. Thank you to each and every one of you who has chosen to support us. And if you can, and if you're able, then I'd love for you to scan the QR code and give us even more.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports. And also, you can download our podcast wherever you get your podcast for free. Just search DLLS Mavs. Give it a 5-star rating and write a review for it while you're there.
Super chats.
That would be much appreciated. We're going to get to some more of these here in just a moment. I see you, Don Juan. I see you, Henry. I see you, Sheldon. We're going to get to those here. And it's Classic Stain Lover as well, who comes in with a $1.99 super chat. Come back. And says, yes, Luka, come back. He's going to be a little busy tonight as the NBA Cup quarterfinals continue.
Rub it in.
Shout out to the Knicks and the Orlando Magic, who move on to the NBA Cup semifinals.
The Mavs were in the NBA Cup quarterfinals last year.
Wait, what?
What?
Really?
Yeah. All day long, wearing a mask of false bravado. Try to keep up a smile that hides the tears.
Yes, Classic Stain Lover in our member.
Look at that
Discord,
skinny young man.
Diehard,
look at that skinny young
has
man.
A picture of Luka.
But as the sun goes down, I
Luka,
get that empty feeling again.
Yeah.
Where did the years go, man?
He's going to be a little busy. He's going to be playing a Victor Wembanyama-less San Antonio Spurs team tonight in Los Angeles as the Lakers and Spurs.
Tanner, please send me that picture.
And the Suns and the Thunder play in the West NBA Cup quarterfinals. Winner of those 2 games will meet in Vegas for a chance to play for the Emirates NBA Cup.
It's
Bobby
just
Carrillo.
the dumbest thing that's ever happened.
The NBA Cup?
Oh,
No,
God.
the NBA Cup. The NBA Cup is cool. The trade.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay, got it.
It's just the dumbest thing that's ever happened, and it will. Nothing will ever change that.
Nothing.
Nothing will ever.
Poor
change
Bobby.
That, man.
Absolutely.
Poor
It is-
Mavs hopeful.
Let's continue here. Again, we'll get to super chats here in just a second because I want to start off with this because we talked a lot about Anthony Davis as far as what the rumors could look like for him. Another team that we did not mention in our last segment, the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks have decisions to make. Trae Young, no contract extension for him. He's on the last year of his current deal. Atlanta Hawks are playing really.
Somebody is lying in the chat. Stein has a horrendous singing voice.
Charlie.
And should
Oh,
Charlie Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, I can't read type that small, but
Kristaps Porzingis on a final year of his contract as well. They've got a lot of young, talented players for Quinn Snyder's group in Atlanta.
okay. So I'm asking. So I'm just gonna ask you. The Hawks offer Porzingis and some low level draft choices. That's good enough.
No.
That's good enough for you.
Ricochet has to be in the deal, right?
No, I don't think they're putting Ricochet in the deal.
Guys,
No.
No, the Hawks. I mean, the Mavs don't have the leverage, or they're like it's in this right now. Again, could this change between? February 5th is both close and far. So in 6 weeks, now look. I mean, the Hawks were. Everybody. The Hawks are rolling without Trae Young. The Hawks are not rolling without Trae Young. So maybe their posture will change. Maybe they will say, you know what, we want to do something significant, but it's like.
Dang.
You're not just going to get, like, the Hawks are not calling and saying, here, have Ricochet and 2 firsts for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
And we got yelled at. They thought that was too much of a light trade yesterday when Ricochet was in it without him.
Yeah. And plus, the Hawks are not going to unlock the vault that has one of the most coveted assets in the league right now.
Oh, I mean,
in
that's
the
not
form
even a
of
question.
the Pelicans pick. So that's not happening.
No.
So again, decisions. Other players that could be part of that decision-making process. Let's start here, Marc Stein, with Klay Thompson, who's played better as of late over his last 10 games, shooting over 40% from the three-point line, has embraced the bench role for this team. What does the market, or is there a market for Klay Thompson? I'll throw D'Angelo Russell in there as well, who, of course, was signed here to this team earlier this summer.
Klay has been a great vet, and he's really been the vet leader of this group from a vocal perspective.
I agree.
And the shot has come around, but in the NBA, more often than not, you are judged on your contract above anything, and the reality is that Klay has one more guaranteed season, I believe. Is it a team option in year 4? Can someone take a look at that?
For whom? I'm sorry.
For Klay, I think it's a team option in year 4.
No, for Klay, he's got a player option for next year.
It is okay. So just one.
Yeah.
He has one more year either way,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's going to complicate your ability to trade him. That, like, a team has to be willing to take on that extra money for next season, and I think that would make it difficult.
Oh wait, it's not even an option.
It's a 3-year guaranteed
Oh.
deal.
I always thought it was a player option.
Yeah, I was looking at him like,
straight 3-year
wow.
guaranteed
yes, he's
deal.
on the books for $17.4 million.
Yeah, it's the
Next
escalation.
season.
Lot of money.
Yeah. So does he want to be in a contending situation, or is this a situation where he still finds himself comfortable in?
Does he want? We're still asking what Klay wants.
I mean, I think it would depend where. I mean, like I said, I think Klay has from day one of camp has taken the approach of, I am going to be the best vet I can for this team, and he's been that. Like, I don't see him on a day-to-day basis like emanating this come get me stance. I don't, maybe privately has he said that to people? Not to me. So, like I said, I think Klay has been an exemplary vet for this team, even though the season started off rough, and obviously I'm sure he did not want to go to the bench, but he's embraced it. He shot the ball well. He's constantly trying to mentor Cooper Flagg. So, we'll see. At this juncture, what is today, December 10th?
That's right.
I mean, I think because of that added year on his contract beyond this season, it would be difficult to find a trade home for him. But again, we'll see. Is someone come late January, early February says we need a shooter and they're willing to take on that money? I suppose it's feasible. D'Angelo Russell, I think it's much more difficult. Even though he's the player option next season is what, like $6.2 million. I mean, it's not like some crazy amount of money, but obviously the way this season is gone, I think D'Angelo Russell would have to exercise that player option. I mean, he's not even in the rotation right now, so he's going to exercise that player option. And you see in today's NBA, like, that's because of these aprons that we've been talking about all show. Every single cent matters. When Jaden Hardy signed his extension, I was like, that thing is so tradable. And like now it's not. Like even that, what is it? Was that like a
$6 million?
Yeah, like
3 years, $18 million.
$6 million is no joke in today because teams are counting every single penny.
Which is why it's good that, again, all the Mavs fourth stringers make a lot of money. Jaden Harden makes $6 million. Dwight makes $4 million. Caleb Martin makes $9.5 million. Oof. So whenever we're talking about the Mavs not having enough money to give Ryan Nembhard a real contract, it's because they're spending $25 million on their fourth stringers, which is not what you're – it's not what you're supposed to do. It's just not what you're supposed to do. That's not the way that it should be.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier, Daniel Gafford, the interest from Indiana from you and Jake Fisher, that seems real. What is the idea of, as we get closer, how robust could his market actually start to get, especially once he gets back on the floor and gets healthy?
It's too soon to say. I mean, if you're the Mavs, I would think you're hoping, can we get a first for Daniel Gafford if they're actually willing to trade him?
If someone offers you a first, you take it and do not ask questions.
Yeah.
You say yes and hang up the phone.
I agree. I mean, it's
fire up the fax machine
because
my eyebrow raised when you
and
said.
And again, I don't want to say that in a disrespectful way, because Daniel Gafford, he was a huge part of the team that went to the finals, and he and D Live formed a good center partnership, and he obviously signed a contract extension in the belief that he was going to stay, but it is the reason I keep writing that he's the Mav most likely to be traded between now and the February 5th deadline is he has the most tradable deal, and size is back. Everybody needs centers now. A couple of years ago, people were saying the big man is dead, and that's totally not the case. And so there are already suitors for Daniel Gafford. Indiana is known. I think there are more that haven't been confirmed yet. The phone is going to ring for Daniel Gafford, and it just depends on, are the Mavs going to get an offer that they decide they like?
Let's get to your Super Chats here on our program today. We start with Don Juan. Thank you so much for the $4.99 Super Chat.
Don.
Could Anthony Davis decline his player option early, extend at like cap-friendly number, play in mid-30s, Duncan role with the Spurs, Kawhi era, and front office tells
going to go out on a limb and say that when you have a $63 million player option, you're not declining.
No discount. No discount.
This is year one. Both AD and Giannis, I believe, are on pretty much the same deal. A 3-year, $175 million extension, and this is year one.
The Lakers handled AD the way that the Mavs could have handled Luka, which is you give the guy an extension and then you trade him. Mavs skipped that first step. So now they're paying a guy that's worse than Luka, more than what Luka would have made this year.
Who's now extension eligible again this summer.
It's the dumbest thing that's ever happened.
Henry Diesel with the $9.99 Super Chat.
There was something
Big Henry
in everything about you.
Absolute must trade. Whoa, they went trade Kai,
Trade Kai.
AD,
No,
Klay, many picks as possible. Won't see a loaded draft like this for 5-6 years. You set the franchise back again just to get swept by OKC. Clean house. It's the only choice. Folks got a lot of real charged up about a couple weeks ago when I said that all options should be on the table, including Kyrie. They were pissed off.
They were
they're not trading Kyrie.
They're not going to trade Kyrie. That doesn't mean it shouldn't be an option on the table.
No, they should not do it. That would be very silly. That'd be very, very bad. You're trading a guy who's out. If you're trying to lose,
I'm not saying you trade him this year.
Yeah, I know. If you're trying to lose, he's already out.
Yeah, he's already out.
It doesn't
you
matter.
don't have to do it this year, but by the time you get to summer, I firmly believe it should be an option on the table. Sheldon Fennell with the $4.99 super chat. A good AD return would be one good young player, expiring contracts, and at least one.
We need to do fast channel 59 alert.
No.
Shows you what I know.
That's cool. A good return.
Shut up, Stein.
would be one good young player, expiring contracts, and at least one unprotected first-round pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Is that a good return? Expiring contracts, a pick, and
depends on the definition of good, young. You know, what is good, what is young?
Under 25. Like
maybe under 27. I don't know.
Dang young.
First round pick also depends. Is the pick in 2026, 27, 31? Like if it's really far away, I'm not really interested in that. You know, I want to pick now. Because again, you're trying to be good now. Or well, not now. You're trying to be good a year from now. You know.
So you'd like the pick to be in the 2026 draft.
Yeah, as soon as possible. But any team that's in position to pick high in the 2026 draft is not going to want to trade for AD. Because
doesn't make any sense.
The purpose, yeah.
Dang, like y'all bringing vibes down.
Y'all?
We're bringing
What
the
did we
vibes
do?
down.
Oh, trust me, the vibes were bad before we got here.
Yeah, like
the vibes were
What
bad.
did I do?
Yeah, Ron, it all changed whenever we hired you, man.
look, I'll say this. And look, the expectations around winning basketball are built on an idea around a player in a situation that's not here anymore. I don't believe, in my humble opinion, there's been a proper recalibration of expectations based on the roster that has been constructed here. You lucked the hell out by getting the number 1 overall pick and getting Cooper Flagg to accelerate some positivity as far as what a timeline could look like. But you've built a roster on a house of cards with a player that is 6 years older than the one you gave away, who's got a significant injury history and, oh, by the way, continues to be injured. So you've got real decisions now about what that future looks like, either with or without that player, and the surrounding players that were supposed to be on a win now timeline built around a player who no longer plays here. So once that decisions gets made and the recalibration of expectations starts to change, yeah, I understand. Look, I'm just as pissed off and as angry as everyone else is when it comes to this team and the direction that it's gone over the last 10 months. But this is where they are, and these are what they've got to do to make a decision on what the franchise will look like in the image of either the co-GMs that will remain here or the GM who gets hired here at some point next year.
But when the morning comes, I'm right back where I started again.
The reality also that the Mavs are facing against it's a lot of this is financial. So this year's team has a payroll right now of $206 million plus $32 million in tax bill on top of that. So this year's team costs $250 million, and they're bad. Next year's team currently $218 million in allocations plus whatever they end up paying their draft pick. So they're already and their draft pick will almost certainly make enough money to push them into the second apron if they don't change anything else, which is very bad for freezing draft picks. And there's a lot of other restrictions. They can only sign guys to the minimum, no exceptions and everything. Next year's team before their pick is projected to cost $243 million. Their pick will make it close to like 260 or 270, depending on how high they get, plus tax penalties. And, you know, so despite all the basketball reasons and what we think about draft pick and future and timelines and all that stuff, Patrick Dumont could also look at this and say, I don't want to spend $250 million on a 35-win team. So new GM that I'm going to hire in 6 months, your number one job is to get us below the tax threshold. So all of those priorities we don't know really much about right now, and those will come to light more. I would say they'd be reflected in the Mavericks' actions more than any sort of forecasting. Like if the Mavs trade AD for a bunch of expiring contracts, it stands to reason that the Mavs don't want to be in the tax. They don't want to be in the apron. They want to save some money and, you know, get a good pick. And those are things that we can't really predict. You know, we won't really know about. But like those are very real considerations that will be, you know, made by ownership and by whoever the next general manager is.
Before we end, Mark, what is your best sense on where we are as of today about what the next week, couple of weeks could start to look like as his team gets back on the floor on Friday and resumes play, and what they want to see over the next 6 weeks as we get closer to the NBA trade deadline.
Well, look, I mean, the way things work now, they brought the rule. I don't know that this necessarily applies to the Mavs, but the new CBA, the rule that they put in was if you are traded, if you are traded by December 16th, which is next Tuesday, then you can be reaggregated before the trade deadline, even though the trade deadline is less than 60 days away. So because of that, I do think there will be some level of activity Monday and Tuesday. I don't think it's necessarily going to involve the Mavs. I think with the Mavs, it's probably a play it out till the deadline scenario, because in all these cases that we're talking about, you hope the value picture changes. It's, chat isn't wrong. I'm not painting a very optimistic picture in terms of the trade value stuff right now. So I don't think the Mavs want to rush into anything, because what would rushing into anything do for them?
It hasn't worked much in the past.
I think we're going to have to wait it out. We're going to be talking about the same stuff between now and Feb 5, I think, quite a bit.
Oh, God. I hope not.
Yeah, it feels like the tip of the iceberg.
Well, there will be games. I mean,
that's the thing.
Now, we'll win every home game.
This week, there's only one game. So this is the stuff we're talking about. I mean, when we have games games to analyze and talk about, we're going to talk about that. But this week is a big picture week because there are no games except Friday. By the way, did you guys see Danny Wolf yesterday on NBA TV looking a lot like National Tim?
Have not seen them in the same room.
I was only watching you on NBA TV.
Looking a lot
whatever
like National Tim.
That'll do it for us here on the DLLS Mavs
Luds,
podcast.
do you think the Mavs should tank or go for it?
Exactly.
Do you think the Mavs should tank or go for it, Luds? Luds says he's not talking to us. Wow, what did we do?
Oh, wow.
You hate to see it, everybody.
There's one person in this office I do not argue with. It's Craig Ludwig.
Well, why is that?
Because I'm smart.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining us here on our program today.
He says we're over our time, so we're
you're
leaving.
on at
Show is over.
You're on at 2 o'clock.
Lud says our show is over. It's over.
Tanner, appreciate you making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir.
Tanner, end the show.
That is our National NBA Insider, Marc Stein. Good to have you back in studio. That's our DLLS Mavs. What are you? The analyst,
I don't know,
Bobby Corella. And apparently the author of Doom around here. That is our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron.
Come see us at Wild Fork Foods on Saturday in Louisville.
Glass half full tomorrow. Join us then.
The optimistic thing is
Trivia Thursday.
AD has to play center now. That is something I actually feel really good about. There's no choice. You got to play center. That's like 80% full, dude. He is good at center. He's an all-NBA.
We all silly like the mayor.